Konami Studios.
King in Black, issue number 5. The finale is here. The highly acclaimed, the highly anticipated Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman book about Venom. That's just something that people have loved. The finale's here. Their whole thing's done. We got Venom 200 next. They're done with Venom. We could probably do a video just talking about that on its own. I'll be honest. They made Venom cool. It's impressive that they did that. Do I like Venom still? No, I don't really like the character. Did I like this finale to King in Black? I don't know. I'm very mixed on this finale. For starters, I know that the fans of this book are going to see this as a very well done finale. Somebody like me who has been very cautious about this book, or not even cautious, more or less not really interested in the story. I think this ending was satisfying. It's predictable, which predictable is not bad. Predictable is not bad. It's not bad at all. You did your big reveals with like Captain Universe and all that. That's cool. To me, the thing that made me go, oh, it's just an okay finale, is how easily the story wrapped itself up. And I know we got the next part in Venom 200 and all that, but this finale, I could probably cover this book in a few minutes. It's not going to be a long video, I can already tell you, just because you already know the beats that I could bring up. Ryan Stegman's art is impressive, it's phenomenal. There are moments where I think it looks a little fast or paced poorly, but that's just how some artists work. The stuff that he went hard out on, you can really tell he put the time and effort into. The stuff he didn't, it's noticeable sometimes. Donny Cates remains one of the most interesting writers at Marvel, in my opinion. I don't hate anything he works on. I also don't love anything he works on. He's a very consistent writer. I will say I like his Thor book more than this, but that's neither here nor there. So, if you've been keeping up, you pretty much know how this is going to go out. Eddie Brock's got the Captain Universe power. You know, Silver Surfer brought it to him. All these things that he's been setting up for a long time are now in play. And basically, this entire issue is just Eddie Brock beating up Knull. Now, that's not bad. I know there are people who are going to like that, who are going to love that. But to me, I'm like, this is it? This is, you've literally set up Knull to be the ultimate force in the universe. And we just defeat him with the God of Light. I know this is a trope that you see in every kind of storytelling, and there's just some times where I think the trope works, but to me there was just something that's just like, you didn't do that much with it to make me feel compelled by it. I don't know. So, Eddie Brock's got the Captain Universe powers. He's going to go take down Knull. He has so much power and light and goodness in him that he's able to lift Mjolnir, take Silver Surfer's board, use the power of those two characters that Donny Cates also wrote, and he just beats up Knull. It's good. People will like it. Again, I'm not the best judge of this book just because you can do whatever you want to make Venom into something special. It's still Venom. You know, you can dress a boring thing up to be this sexy, cool thing, but it's still boring underneath all that. Venom is still a character I don't have that connection to. So this whole event never spoke to me the way it spoke to other people. But I like this stuff where, like, Thor and Surfer are like, how is he controlling our power? Surfer's a little more on board, which I like that. Surfer's got, like, the smirk on his face, like, oh, you'll see, Thor. We got the God of Light in here. I kind of like that. And then most of the rest of the book is just, like, is just watching them fight. And it's cool. You know, I'm trying not to be critical of it, because it's kind of the same thing that happened in Death Metal when Perpetua and the Batman Who Laughs and like Wonder Woman, they're doing like their big fighting stuff. It's the same thing. But for some reason, I just feel this one is just less interesting. And maybe it's just because I don't feel the stakes as much, because it really doesn't do that much different. I think, I don't know. I'm trying to be nice about it. But, you know, Captain Universe, Thor, Surfer, Venom, Eddie throws Knull into the sun. He burns up, but there's still some evil left in Dylan. So when he comes back to Earth, he has to use the power of love to save his son. And it works. It works. Okay, that is completely fine. it works. The books, there's some good moments. There's stuff where, like, you know, Blade's fighting some vampires and he's just like, ugh, I can't catch a break here. But then he does stuff with Spider-Man like, ugh, I just hate all this symbiote crap. Yeah, because it's way better or worse than the clones. Whatever, man. I don't know. This book, I'm sure there are people that love it. But to me, I just don't think King in Black was my book. I really just went in there, I really tried to read it and enjoy it, and there are moments I really liked. I think the part that I don't like is Venom. I don't think the character is cool. And you did your best to make him cool, and I'm sure people will agree that he is cool, but it's fine. I don't know. So Knull's dead. We got the darkness out of Dylan. Everything is working fine. It looks like Eddie's going to be Venom again. He gets the Venom power, and he becomes the king of the symbiotes. Eddie Brock / Venom is the King in Black. Like, I'm sure from day one, we all knew that was kind of like where the title was going. And that's fine. Like I said, like, just because you're predictable doesn't mean the story isn't bad. But here I'm just like, yeah, okay. Just another Marvel event. Nothing else to it besides that, which it's not bad. People will like this. I'm sure people will love this. But for somebody who just thought or believed that the world is going to build this to be like the next best thing in comics, to me it just goes that, yeah, it's the same thing as every other Marvel event. You know, you got your big tease for it to come out, and then it just kind of like ultimately satisfies you enough where you think you're going to continue reading it, but when it's done, you're like, was this really worth it? The last issue of an event is like the hardest one, because you have to make everything make sense. This book did fine by it. It did fine by it. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty easy story where Eddie beat Knull, he got all this magic power, and the status quo never really changed completely. Eddie's the King in Black. That was kind of where the storyline was going anyway, so it didn't really add or take anything away. It's just a very mediocre event and a very mediocre final issue to a story that I know a lot of people are really going to like. And I don't want to criticize anybody that really likes this book, because fundamentally, it's not aimed for me. This story is not aimed for me. I am not the target audience, so that doesn't mean it's not going to be for people who have the same interests or tastes as me. It just means me specifically. This book could be a masterpiece, and I'd still be like, I'm not a big enough Venom fan to think that this is going to change my world or the comic book world. And I still don't think it's going to rock the status quo in the way people were thinking. It's fine. It's a solid book. The art looks great. The fighting looks cool. It did some good stuff for Venom that I know people will like, but to me the highlights were Silver Surfer, were Spider-Man, and surprisingly Blade. Like in this issue, those were the things I liked. Everything else was mediocre. It ended very quickly. You got the title, The King of Black is Eddie Brock. There you go. You get it. The book's done. On to the next thing. Extreme Carnage, I suppose, is the next thing Cates is working on. It's fine. I know people will like it. So, King in Black, issue 5. If I haven't made you mad enough already, I am going to give this book a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.